For someone who hates crowds and flashing lights, it's an unsettling kind of place.
I haven't actually been in a casino before. I play cards with friends sometimes. They don't like playing with me.
In blackjack, the dealer has the advantage. And even for a card counter, it still comes down to chance.
It was actually really hard to concentrate because the bright lights, the noise, the atmosphere, a strange mixture of tension and excitement, all in one.
Daniel is playing 2 rounds with 8 decks each. That's over 400 cards to keep track of at once. Round 1 is a disaster. Daniel's chips are disappearing fast. And memory alone just isn't giving him an edge. Eventually, he changes strategy and follows his instincts.
At the end, I was just relying on intuition, the imagery as it flowed into my mind.
At the most unpromising moment, Daniel decides to gamble.
The house had a 10, which is a regal card, and I was given 2 sevens, and that's not a good hand, and it's particularly not a good hand against a 10. What I decided to do was split the sevens. An unusual move, statistically speaking not the best move, but something in my head was telling me to do that anyway because of the imagery that I was experiencing, and so I split the sevens, doubled my bet, was given a 3rd card, and it also turned out to be a 7. And at this stage I wasn't really sure of the rules of the game because this is the first time I've played blackjack in a casino, so I asked, can I split those 2? And she's surprised, but she says, sure, if you want to. So she splits those, and so I now have 3 hands at one time against a 10. And the people behind me are tutting, and they're saying, what is he doing? You know, he's playing 3 hands against a 10. He's splitting 7s against a 10. He's crazy. And then she draws the remaining cards for each 7.
He hits 21 on his first hand. And again on his second. That's 2 out of 2. Who'd bet against a hat-trick now?
That's great.
That's 321s.
His 6th sense proves a winner. And in one fell swoop, Daniel squares his losses.
Did you get that?
Good one.
I don't care if I lose now, that was fantastic.
But Daniel needs to stay sharp as he heads for California and the showdown that really counts. At San Diego's Center for Brain Studies, he's about to face a series of tests. Does he really have some kind of 6th sense? An ability with numbers that goes beyond just memory? Neuroscientist Professor Ramachandran and his team are intrigued by the idea, but have their doubts.
When Rama first came to me and said, hey, we've got this math savant that's coming here, and he can do 4x4 multiplication, and he can recognize primes, and he can do division out to so many decimal places, I thought, yeah, he's probably faking it, or he's got it memorized. You know, there's all sorts of techniques, and I'm very much a big skeptic of this.
With the pleasantries over, the testing can begin.
27 to the power of 6. Oh, can you do it to the power of 7?
Yes, okay. 1, 0, 4, 6, 0, 3, 5, 3, 2, 0, 3.
Excellent.
Better than the calculator. I need to see whether or not that 03 is correct, but you know, I have a feeling it would be.
31 to the power of 6.
Daniel's jet lag is wrecking his concentration and slowing him up.
Seven, 5, 0, 3, 6, 8, 1.
Spectacular.
Daniel has certainly impressed the scientists with his ability to calculate, but they're keeping an open mind about his method.
Okay, here we are confronted with somebody who claims to have amazing computational skills, and when we tested him with some simple numbers, doing a two-digit number like 37 to the power of 7, very, very quickly he gave us the accurate answer. And we did this with several different numbers. The question is, how is he doing it?
One possibility is that Daniel has trained himself to do super-fast calculations in his head. As we're about to see, the human brain can do incredible things. Believe it or not, an extraordinary maths ability like Daniel's is something that ordinary people can learn. Here in Tokyo, some schools still teach the ancient art of the abacus. Children start learning the basic skills aged 4 and practice every day. By the time they're 12, these whiz kids are fast becoming human calculators. To be sure, lessons are not for the faint-hearted.
Well, I'm sometimes very strict, so some child cries, perhaps, or sometimes I hit them. But they keep coming here. I hope they're happy. But when they are training, they never have a smile on their faces.
Nevertheless, 8 years of hard slog can produce jaw-dropping results. 12-year-old Kota Kizuka is top of the class.
I practice 2 hours on weekdays and 10 hours on the weekend. I want to become the national champion.
Along with the other high flyers, he can now do huge calculations with a purely imaginary abacus, manipulating nothing but thin air. Children like this show us that with enough practice, super-fast mental calculation is possible. Yet Daniel insists he's not doing this kind of conscious calculation at all. He says the answers come to him spontaneously,